ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। अखण्डं सच्चिदानन्दम् अवाङ्मनसगोचरम् आत्मानमखिलाधारम् आश्रयेभीष्टसिद्धये अर्थतोऽप्यद्वयानन्दान् अतीतद्वैतभानतः गुरूणाराध्य वेदान्त सारं वक्ष्ये यथामति. So in this first chapter, the Dhyana shlokas were given. Vedanta was introduced, and now we have entered into the discussion on Anubandha Chatushtaya. And what is Anubandha Chatushtaya? The descriptive definition was given: Adhikari Vishaya Sambandha Prayojanani. Of these four, Adhikari is being discussed, and Adhikari was explained. Adhikari tu Vidivat Adhita Veda Vedangatvena Apatataha Adhigata Akhila Vedarthaha. He is the one who has generally understood the subject matter of entire Vedas, that there are four Purusharthas, and the final Purushartha is Moksha, and Moksha is by Jnanam. In this manner, he has got general idea about the content of Vedas. Because of what? Vidivat Adhita Veda Vedangatvena. Because of studying Adhita, the Veda and Vedanga, these four Vedas, or at least one Vedas, and Vedanga, Shiksha, Kalpa, Vyakarana, Nirukta, Chanda, Jyotisha. Vidivat, as prescribed in the Shastra, he has studied in Gurukula, Veda and Vedanga. Therefore, he has got general idea about the content of the teaching of the entire Vedas. This is first thing. Means a person is exposed to Vedic tradition. That is the idea. And sometimes he may be born, and because of that he has got advantage, or somehow because of Punyam, in some stages of life he got exposed to Vedic tradition, and he has the idea of this Vedic culture. That is important, because I have seen that unless a person imbibes certain cultural values of Vedic culture, this Vedanta doesn't get assimilated. People may think, what is there, I am interested only in the teaching of Vedanta, Brahmasmi. Doesn't work. One has to, certain cultural values, the values of the Shraddha, values of respecting the Acharya and Shastra, the reverential attitude, if these are not there, however much person studies, I have seen, it doesn't work. So, cultural values should come. Whether person is born in this culture or not, but cultural values are to be assimilated. If people think that, after all, Swamiji, Vedanta is a secular thing, how does it matter? It doesn't work. Practically, it doesn't work. People think that I am very bright in study, so I will just study this Vedanta and I will attain moksha, which is talked about. It doesn't work. Certain cultural values need to be cultivated, assimilated, to be respected. Then only it happens. The Vedic culture is that you respect the Shastra. You don't step on the book. don't handle the books, Shastra, in a very rough, disrespectful manner. All these are values. People may think, how does it matter? It matters a lot. So therefore, this cultural exposure, then assimilation of cultural values have to happen. Therefore we say, go to the temple and all this. People may think, Swamiji, what is the connection between studying Vedanta and going to the temple, doing namaskara to the teacher? How does it matter? It matters. We may not know how it matters, but it matters. And therefore, cultural values, cultural exposure and values, assimilation of cultural values, that is also very important. And asmin janmani janmantareva kamya nishiddha varjana purassaram nitya naimittika prayashitto pasananushthanena nirgata nikhila kalmashataya nitanta nirmala swantaha. A person whose mind is pure because of performing the nitya naimittika prayashchitta and upasana, having avoided kamya and nishiddha, and thus nirgata nikhila kalmasha, free from kalmasha, obstacles, impurity. Impurity can be seen in both ways, the ragadveshas or durita, kalmashataya. Nirgata nikhila, all kalmasha which are gone, and therefore his mind is pure. And this performance of nitya naimittika can happen in this janma or in other janmas. And sadhana chatushtaya sampannaha pramata, the knower who is endowed with sadhana chatushtaya is adhikari. Then kamya karma, nishiddha karma, nitya karma, naimittika karma, prayaschitta, upasanani we were saying. So last one was upasanani. Saguna brahma vishaya manasa vyapara rupani. See, definition of upasana, meditation. This upasana is in the form of mental activities. Rupani means in the form of mental activities which are dealing with Vishaya, means centered on, having its content in the form of Saguna Brahma. This Brahman with attributes, attributed Brahman. Sarvajnatva, Sarvashaktimatva, ityadi guna vishishta Brahma is called Saguna Brahma. Ishvara. So Ishvara Vishaya Manasa Vyapara is called Upasanani. So it can be done in the form of Ishta Devata Dhyanam. One can meditate upon Ganesha, Shiva, Vishnu, whatever. It can be in the form of this Manasa Puja, or it can be in the form of Vishwarupa Upasana. And that is described in the Shastra Chandogya Upanishad, Shandilya Vidyadeni. So Prana Upasana is there, Virat Upasana is there. All these Upasanas are the mental activities centered on Saguna Brahma. Alright. Up to this we had seen. Now, the author Sadanandaji is talking about the purpose of all this Nityadi karma and Upasana. Etesham Nityadinam Buddhishuddhihi Param Prayojanam Upasananam tu Chittaikagyam Tametam Atmanam Vedanuvachanena Brahmanaha Vividishanti Yajnena Ityadi Shrutehe Tapasa kalmasham hanti ityadi smrutehe cha. So he says, etesham nityadinam buddhi shuddhihi param prayojanam. Buddhi shuddhihi, purity of the mind. purification of the mind is param prayojanam, is the main benefit of etesham nityadinam, of these nityadi karma. Nitya karma, naimittika karma, prayashchitta karma, their purpose is, the main purpose is buddhi shuddhi. And buddhi shuddhi means purification of the mind. And purification we can see in two ways. One is ragadvesha nivritti, other is durita nivritti. Upata durita kshaya dvara buddhi shuddhi hetutvam. Nityadi karmanam buddhi shuddhi hetutvam katham. How it is? Upata durita kshaya dvara. By the exhaustion or removal of the durita which has acquired, the nityadi karma becomes the hetu for buddhi shuddhi. And also we can look upon as the removal of ragadveshas. So nityadi karma done with proper attitude will remove ragadveshas, and ragadveshas are the impurity of the mind. Therefore, by removal of ragadveshas, the nityadi karma become the buddhi shuddhi hetuhu, the cause for the purification of the mind. So param prayojanam. Etesham nityadinam buddhi shuddhi param prayojanam means the purification of the mind is the highest benefit of these nityadi karmas. Upasana nam tu chittaikagryam, we have to supply what? Param prayojanam. Whereas, tu means whereas. Chittaikagryam, concentration of the mind, the ability to focus, the ability of the mind to focus is param prayojanam, is the main benefit of what? Upasananam, of this upasana. So upasana has got the main benefit, main purpose in the form of chittaikagryam. Chittasya ekagryam is chittaikagryam. Ekagram means what? Ekagrasya bhavaha ekagram. Ekagram means concentration. Ekaha eva agre yasya saha ekagraha. The one or the mind for which only one thing is there in front, not scattered mind. Only one thing is there in front. That mind or the person is called ekagraha. And ekagrasya bhavaha ekagram. The status of being the one for whom only one thing is there in front, that is called ekagram, concentration, focusing ability, chitta of the mind, that is called chittaikagram. So concentration of the mind is the param prayojanam, is the highest benefit of upasana. Upasana means what? More you meditate, more your mind becomes concentrated, more it becomes focused. Because in upasana, that is what you do. So you learn swimming by swimming. Similarly, you learn concentration by concentrating. So in upasana, you are trying to concentrate. And with your repeated effort, with sincerity, will bring you this chittaikagryam, the ability to focus the mind on a given subject matter for some length of time. That is chittaikagryam. And nitya karma have got param prayojanam in buddhi shuddhi. For that he gives the shruti smriti pramanam. He says, tam etam atmanam vedanu vachanena brahmanaha vividishanti. Brahmanas, the people who are having the sattva guna pradhanyam, that brahmanas vividishanti. Vividishanti means desire to know. What? Tam etam atmanam. That atma which has been described earlier in Brihadaranyaka, therefore tam etam, this which is aparoksha, tam etam atmanam vividishanti. So Brahmanas, people who are relatively sattva guna pradhana, they desire to know this self. How? Vedanu vachanena, by the study of Vedas. Anuvachanam is repeating. Veda Anuvachanam is repeating of Vedas. Chanting, following the teacher is called Anuvachanam. Anu means Paschat. Vachanam is chanting. So chanting after the teacher is called Anuvachana. And what is chanted? Vedas. So Vedanuvachanam is learning to chant Vedas or study of Vedas. Here study of Vedas is in the form of verbal study of Vedas. So Vedanuvachana. The very study of Vedas itself brings purity. And sign of purity is Vividisha. When a person becomes more and more pure in his mind, then natural consequence would be the jignasa for Atma Tattva. That is a sign. A person will have desire to know the self sincerely, not as just curiosity, but person is very much interested to solve the problem of life, and for that he wants to know the self. That is a sign of purity, and therefore vividishanti. Brahmanaha vedanu tam etam atmanam vividishanti. Brahmanas desire to know this self with the help of Vedanuvachana. So Vedanuvachana will bring about the purity. Purity will bring about Vividisha. Those who are sincerely committed to Vedas, that itself gives them so much purity. The study of Vedas itself gives lot of punyam, lot of removal of impurity, and thereby Vividisha. And another sadhanam is Yagnena. By the daily rituals a person is supposed to do, and in a simpler version, Panchamaha Yagnas. So Yagnena, Panchamaha Yagnena, this Deva Yagna, Rishi Yagna, then Brahma Yagna, Manushya Yagna, Deva Yagna, this Rishi, Deva Yagna, Rishi Yagna, Pitru Yagna, Manushya Yagna, and Bhuta Yagna. These Panchamaha Yagnas also help the person to purify and have Vividisha. So Yagnena Vedanuvachanena Brahmanaha Vividishanti. So by the study of Vedas and by performance of the ritual, Brahmanas desire to know the self. Means this desire to know the self and subsequent the pursuit of knowledge is possible because of Vedanuvachana and Yajna. Ityadi Shrutehe. From the Shruti we understand that the Buddhi Shuddhi indicated by Vividisha is by Nityadi Karma. So Yajna and Vedanuvachana are referring to Nitya Karma. Ityadi Shrutehe. That is Spruti Vakya is there. Tapasa Kalmasham Hanti Purushaha. Hanti Kriyapada Karta is Purushaha. A sadhaka, a person, Hanti destroys Kalmasham, obstacles, impurities, Tapasa, through tapas. And tapas is representative of Nityadi Karmas. Swadharmanushtanam itself is a tapaha. Tapa has got several definitions. So one of them is Swadharmanushtanam. So doing one's own dharma, and whatever suffering is there, one goes through without any complaint, that itself is a tapas. A grihastha is doing his grihastha's duty, and there will be always some suffering involved, and going through that suffering while doing one's duty itself is tapas. So tapas implies this Nitya Naimittika karma, and by extension upasana also. So tapasa means Nityadi karmana upasanaya cha kalmasham hanti purushaha. A person destroys the kalmasham, impurity. In the impurity in the form of ragadveshas, impurity in the form of durita. Ityadi smritehe. Because of this smriti vakya also, we understand that nityadinam buddhi shuddhihi param prayojanam. Now, param prayojanam of nityadi karma was given. Now, avantara prayojanam is incidentally given, even though it is not required for this adhikaritvam, but incidentally that also is given. Nitya naimitikayoho upasananam tu avantara phalam pitruloka satyaloka praptihi karmana pitrulokaha vidyaya devalokaha ityadi shrutehe. So when we hear that nityadi karmas have got the buddhi shuddhi as the prayojanam, then people may have this question that Shastra talks about the loka prapti by karma. Shastra talks about this brahmaloka, the prapti by upasana. So what about that? If chitta shuddhi and chitta naishalyam, chitta ekagram alone is the purpose, then how will you reconcile with those sentences which are talking about this higher loka by doing the karma, even nityadi karma? So for that, here the explanation is given, clarification is given. Nitya naimitikayoho upasananam tu avantara phalam pitruloka satyaloka prapti. Tu, however, avantara phalam, the secondary result, nitya naimitikayoho, of nitya karma and naimittika karma. We have already seen what is nitya and naimittika. So nitya naimitikayoho karmanoho avantara phalam is what? Pitruloka prapti. Bhuva loka. There are 7 loka. Bhuhu, bhuvaha, suvaha, maha, janaha, tapa, satyam. So here Pitruloka is a representative of Swargaloka. Bhuvaha, suvaha or swaha. These lokas are attained by nitya naimittika karma. So avantara phalam, the secondary result of nitya naimittika karma is pitruloka prapti. Means this nitya naimittika karma can be used for pitruloka prapti. The secondary result is that. And also sometimes it is interpreted as that even though the main phalam is chitta shuddhi, but as a secondary result a person is given even pitruloka. If he could not reach moksha, then this nitya naimittika karma can give pitruloka as the secondary outcome. And therefore this pitruloka prapti is called avantara phala, secondary result of nitya naimittika. Means primarily they are not designed for pitruloka prapti, but they can be used for pitruloka prapti. Alright. Then upasananam tu, upasana and also upasana avantara phalam, the secondary result is satyaloka praptihi. Satyaloka means brahmaloka praptihi. So upasana can lead the person to brahmaloka prapti as well. Alright. But that is not the primary result, that is the secondary result. Like when we go to some big program, primary result was to understand, was to listen to the talk, but we get some prasadam, etc., good lunch, etc. Secondary result, that also can be there. Alright. In Shastra they give the example that mango plant is planted for getting mango, but you get this shade also of the tree. The shade also is the result of mango tree. Similarly, the loka prapti also can be the result of this upasana. especially when it is done with that particular attitude. Otherwise also it can give, but mainly it will give when Nitya Karma is done with the desire to have this higher loka. That's why in Bhagavad Gita Bhashyam we had seen there are two types of Agnihotra. Nitya Agnihotra, Kamya Agnihotra. So both type of Agnihotras are there. Alright. Karmana Pitrulokaha Vidyaya Devalokaha Ityadi Shrutehe. This idea we get from Avantara Phala of the Pitruloka Prapti, Devaloka Prapti, from Karma and Upasana, from Shruti only. There is no other way. Karmana Pitrulokaha. By Karma there is Pitruloka, which is representative of Swarga as well. Vidyaya Devalokaha. By Vidya means here Upasana, Devalokaha. And here Devaloka refers to Brahmaloka. So by Karma, Karmana Pitrulokaha Prapyate or Siddhyati. Vidyaya Devalokaha Siddhyati. So by Karma, Pitruloka is attained. Rituals, etc. By that Pitruloka, which represents Swargaloka, and by Vidya, Devaloka. Here Devaloka means Brahmaloka is attained. Ityadi Shrutehe. Alright. So with this, in Adhikari description, Nitya Naimittika Prayashittopasananushthanena Nirgata Nikhila Kalmashataya Nitanta Dirmala Swantaha. That particular part of the definition is explained. So whatever term which requires explanation, that was done. Now next word is what? Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampannaha Pramata. In the definition of Adhikari, the Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampanna, that part is explained. Sadhanani Nitya Nitya Vastu Viveka Iha Mutrartha Phala Bhoga Viraga Shamadhi Shatka Sampatti Mumukshuttvani. Really speaking, we cannot separate, but for our ease we have separated. Otherwise we have to chant Nitya Nitya Vastu Viveke Ha Mutrartha Phala Bhoga Viraga Shamadhi Shatka Sampatti Mumukshuttvani. That is the right way of pronouncing, chanting. Alright. So what are the sadhanas? In the word Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampannaha, Sadhana Chatushtaya means a group of 4 sadhanas. So what are those sadhanas? That descriptive definition is given. Nitya Nitya Vastu Viveka. Discrimination between the permanent and impermanent thing, Vastu. And Iha Mutrartha Phala Bhoga Viragaha. Dispassion towards, Viraga means dispassion towards the Bhoga, the enjoyment of Phala, the result, which is in the form of Ihartha, the objects in this world, Amutrartha, the objects in other world. So second qualification is Iha Mutrartha Phala Bhoga Viragaha. So dispassion towards the enjoyment of the result, which is in the form of the objects here and hereafter. So here means Shabda Sparsha Rupa Rasa Gandha. We have some good music is there, good food is there, good fragrance is there. That is called Ihartha, which is what? Phala, which is the result of your karma. Nothing comes without deserving. People say, oh Swamiji, I don't know whether I deserve it, and all they say. I said, you deserve it. It's nice of you to be humble, but you deserve. Good things also you deserve, and wrong things, what you consider is unpleasant, that also you deserve. Many times people say, Swamiji, I don't deserve this treatment. Nothing you get what you don't deserve. It is your perception that you don't deserve. You always deserve. So that idea is always Shastra, He doesn't miss a chance to convey this idea. Therefore, Phala. Otherwise, iha mutrartha bhoga viraga also is enough. But Shastra wants to convey that phala means karma phala. It is the result of your karma. And towards that viragaha, a dispassion towards the enjoyment of the result of one's karma, which is in the form of ihartha, the objects in this world, and amutrartha, objects in other world. That is iha mutrartha phala bhoga viragaha. Then shamadhi shatka sampatti, the sixfold wealth, or the wealth in the form of group of 6 qualities, starting with shama. Shamadhi, shama, etc. Shatka, a group of 6. Sampatti means wealth. So wealth consisting of a group of 6 qualities beginning with shama. So shamadhi shatka sampatti. And the last one is mumukshuttvani. Mumukshutvam, this desire for freedom, or to be precise, the status of being desirous of freedom. Mumukshutva indicates status. The status of being mumukshu, desirous of freedom. Which is Swamiji used to make slight difference, even though mumukshutvam and mumuksha are considered to be the same. But he says when mumukshutva, when you say, it indicates the whole person who has undergone a change. Mumukshu. If you say mumuksha, desire for moksha, means you have so many desires. One of them is this desire for freedom. Nice to have freedom. So that is mumuksha. Whereas mumukshutvam means a person has undergone a change, pariksha lokan, and he has become mumukshu. That idea is conveyed by the mumukshutva. Even though linguistically both are conveying the idea of desire for freedom. But we can see some extra thing in mumukshutvam. So mumukshuttvani. So these are the 4 sadhananis. Nitya nitya vastu viveka 1. Iha mutrartha phala bhoga viraga 2nd. Shamadhi shatka sampatti 3rd. And mumukshutva 4th. These 4 qualities are called sadhana chatushtaya. Alright. Sadhana means the means. Here the means are in the form of qualifications. And commentator in some context he says, what is sadhanam? Yasmin sati eva niyamena jayate. Yasmin asati neva jayate. Tadeva tasya sadhanam. Yasmin sati eva niyamena jayate. Yasmin asati neva jayate. Tadeva tasya sadhanam. Means when A is, then only B is. If A is not there, B is not there. Then A is called the sadhanam for B. So yasmin sati eva. When A is there, then only B is born. If A is not there, B is not born for sure. Then A is said to be the sadhanam for B. So that type of sadhanam. It means this vivekadi are there, then only jnanam jayate. And vivekadi are not there, jnanam na jayate. Therefore vivekadi are sadhanani. Sadhanatvam katham dayate, anvaya vyatirekena dayate. Sadhyena saha anvaya vyatirekena sadhanasya sadhanatvam nishchiyate. So it is well ascertained. Alright. Now, this was just enlisted. This sadhana chatushtaya sampatti was enlisted. Now, each one is defined. नित्यानित्यवस्तु विवेकः तावत् ब्रह्म एव नित्यं वस्तु ततः अन्यद् अखिलम् अनित्यम् इति विवेचनम्. So first he said tavat. First of all, nitya nitya vastu viveka, the discrimination between the permanent thing and impermanent thing is vivechanam. Vivechanam means discrimination, separation, cognitive separation. In which manner the separation is done? Brahma eva nityam vastu. Brahman alone is permanent entity, permanent reality. Tataha anyat, anything other than that Brahman, really other than is not that, but other appears to be there. Tataha anyat, anything other than that Brahman. Tataha means Brahmanaha, anything other than Brahman. Akhilam, everything. Anything without any exception. Akhilam can be translated as without exception. Anything without any exception other than Brahman is anityam, is temporary. Iti, in this manner, vivechanam, cognitive separation of nitya and anitya, this is called nitya nitya vastu viveka. Here we have seen in Tattva Bodha that at this juncture person is not so much clear about this Brahma. If he is fully aware of and fully understood this Brahman, then he is not Adhikari, he is Dani. But he has got some idea based on some exposure to Shastra, paperback knowledge about Brahman, that if at all there is something permanent, it is Brahman. So Brahma eva nityam vastu, that part is not very very clear, but if at all there is something nitya, it is Brahman. So that is what Shastra says. And anything other than that is anityam. Whether it is a dharma purushartha, kava purushartha, or artha purushartha, any purushartha, all of them are involving other things which are anityam. Akhilam means all, without exception. Everything, anything other than that, without exception, is anityam, is impermanent. That is what is said here, pariksha lokan karmachitan. A person is analyzing in his life, analyzing in others' life, so he sees that everything is subject to departure. And Anuman also he uses that whatever I have not seen also will be having the same lot. And thus Pratyaksha Anumanadi Pramanena he comes to this conclusion that everything is anityam. Iti vivechanam. This type of discrimination is called nitya nitya vastu vivekaha. Alright. Now vairagyam or viraga. ऐहिकानां स्रक्चन्दनवनितादिविषयभोगानां कर्मजन्यतया अनित्यत्ववत् आमुष्मिकाणामपि अमृतादिविषयभोगानां अनित्यतया तेभ्यः नितरां विरतिः इहामुत्रार्थफलभोगविरागः. So ihamutrarthaphalabhoga. We have seen this word, dispassion towards the bhoga the enjoyment of the result of action, which is in the form of the objects here and hereafter. And this viraga is of two types. One is smashana vairagyam, the vairagyam based on some incident in one's life. Some person was ditched by somebody, means cheated by somebody, or he did not get what he wanted to pass the exam, could not pass. Whatever happened, there was a loss in business, and he temporarily feels that nothing is permanent. I don't want this. And so he has got some state of dejection and he is not interested in anything. That is also will look like vairagya. We call it smashana vairagyam, cremation ground dispassion. Why it is called smashana vairagyam? Because in smashana, nowadays that also is going away. In smashana, what happens that the body is getting burnt and all people have nothing to do. In those days mobile and all were not there, so they have to be there. And so naturally topic will be about the person. See, this person till yesterday he was so particular about so many things. Now he left it. Nothing has gone with him. Everything is here. So some vairagyam will happen. That is called cremation ground vairagyam. But when they go back home and other activities, again they get raga. And nowadays in smashana also is not possible. One thing is that electric cremation is there. So you don't see all this. In 5-10 minutes it comes out. The body is over. So you don't get time. So this Kali Yuga is such that it don't allow you to have vairagyam, chance to have vairagyam. And even if regular cremation ground is there, people will have mobile. And in some particular community, in the smashanam itself, there is some party like thing. They will give something to eat and all. So they eat there itself. And therefore there is question of vairagyam. But in those days, smashana vairagyam used to be there. Which is not based on viveka. Is based on some instantaneous situation which has created some type of dejection, which will look like vairagya. It can last sometimes for a day or two or month or something, but it's not based on viveka. Whereas second vairagyam is viveka janya vairagyam. And that viveka janya vairagyam is here talked about. How is it? How this vairagyam is born? ऐहिकानां स्रक चंदन वनितादि विषय भोगानां कर्मजन्यतया अनित्यत्ववत्. These bhogas, the enjoyments of vishaya, the objects, and this enjoyment of the objects can be described in various ways. We can say shabda, sparsha, rupa, rasa, gandha, music, etc. But in Shastra, there is a classical way of describing the Vishayas. And that this description you will find in many commentaries. Is a standard description of the Vishaya Bhoga from which Vairagya a person gets. What is that? Srak. Srak means mala. In those days, people used to have a lot of value for wearing mala, garland. So now it looks very odd. You imagine you go with mala, to dining hall and all. So people think, what happened, But in those days, they used to wear mala and enjoy. Simple, their enjoyment simple. Chandana. Chandana means the sandal paste, So each person applies and it feels very fragrant. So nowadays, in place of chandana, all perfumes, And so person feels very good about it. He impresses others. And this perfume business is, my God, millions and billions of rupees involved. so many people how to which fragrance will be better and all this, so much research they do and so much survey and all this, spend so much money. This perfume, I was surprised that people spend so much money on that perfume. When we were small, there used to somebody will come and we'll have small bottle. Have you seen that small bottle? This much bottle, attar it is called. And that from that one cotton, small cotton piece, that we will put in the ear. That's what attara. That was the perfume. Nowadays it's a big business. Anyway, so Chandana represents all this perfume, Gandha. Vanita, wife, stands for husband as well. So Bhoga, the Sharira Bhoga with the spouse, etc. etc. You can add music, this eatables, Vishaya, the objects, Bhoganam. So all these bhogas of the objects such as garland, sandal, paste, woman or man, etc. Karma janyataya, all of them are born of karma. As I told you, this idea is every now and then brought, that whatever bhoga you have, it is to be earned. Even in this Sringara Shatakam is there. The 3 Shatakas written by Bhartrihari. Sringara Shatakam, Niti Shatakam and Vairagya Shatakam by the same person. And in Sringara Shatakam, all these bhogas are described in the ways to get bhogas and all. Even in that it is said that if you are not getting good wife, you earn punyam. That is how. So there also this idea is hammered. So don't have any jealousy. I am just adding. Don't have any jealousy. If you don't have good wife, then earn punyam. So that idea is always there. That whatever you are facing is because of your karma. So if you don't have, because you have not earned it. So karma janyataya. All bhoganam karma janyataya. So bhoganam goes with karma janyataya. So all bhogas being born of karma. Karma janyataya hetu. Being born of karma, punya papa. And therefore what? Anityatva vat. They have got impermanence. Vat means similarly. Amushpikanam api amrutadi vishaya bhoganam. The enjoyment of the objects such as amruta. Amruta means nectar. Nectar, etc. etc. means the apsaras, music and beauty, etc. Amrutadi vishaya bhoganam. What type of vishaya? Amushpikanam, belonging to other loka. So the enjoyments of the objects such as nectar, etc., which belong to the other lokas, they are also what? Anityataya, being impermanent. Why? Karma janyatvat. Because of being born of karma, even those bhogas are anitya, temporary. Because karma janya, born of karma. And therefore, since they are impermanent, tebhyaha nitaram viratihi. Tebhyaha means from them, nitaram completely, viratihi dispassion. Absence of raga towards them is called iha mutrartha falabhoga viragaha. That is called dispassion towards the enjoyment of the results of action in the form of the objects here and hereafter. So this definition, what does it say? That Vairagyam is born of Nitya Nitya Vastu Viveka. Especially the Viveka of everything being Anitya. Viraga is born of the Viveka that everything is Anitya. And everything means what? The objects here. That I am observing myself. So I am seeing that they are born of karma and they are going away. Same thing is going to happen in the other loka. Tadyatha iha karmachito lokah kshiyate evameva mutra punyachitoha chitaha lokah kshiyate. In Chandogya, this idea is given. He says, just as here the bhogas which are born of karma, they are exhausted. Similarly, there also they will be exhausted because they are also born of karma, and therefore they are anitya. And being anitya cannot give me nitya ananda. Anitya cannot give me nitya ananda. And what I am seeking in my life is nitya ananda. So, these sense objects cannot give me what I am seeking in my life. That particular disposition, and therefore there is no raga for the objects, that is called viratihi. So, vairagyam is born of viveka, that all of them can give me temporary result, and what I am seeking in my life is permanent. Therefore, I am not interested. That is called viratihi. Alright. It means that there is no hatred towards the objects, or there is no fear of the objects. Yes, sometimes person has to keep oneself away, so dhamma stage may be there, but it is not a permanent state that I am all the time afraid of the objects, or I should not see other gender, I should not anywhere go near these objects, otherwise I will be tempted. That should not be the permanent state. Initially, person can withdraw, nothing wrong in keeping distance. In fact, alcoholic people, they are told that you have to keep yourself away from this alcohol-related things. So, you should not pass by that shop and all. He has to be careful. He should not go to that party where all the drinks are served. So, he has to be careful in the beginning. But later on, vairagya is that when even if others are enjoying, I am not interested. And I am not interested not because I hate them. I am not interested because it does not give me what I am seeking in my life. And the price is quite big. So this bhoga gives temporary ananda, but they have got dukkha mishritatvam, they have got anityatvam, then bandhakatvam. All these things I am seeing. So sometimes when we don't see the price tag, we want to buy it. The moment we see the price tag, we put it back. That's what happens in mall. People take and put it back, take and put it back. So I am not interested. Thus viratihi for the objects here and hereafter. Next one is shamadayah tu shamadamo parati titiksha samadhana shraddhakhyaha. Tu, whereas shamadayah, shama etc. are shama, dama, uparati, titiksha, samadhana, shraddhakhyaha. Shamadaya are in the form of those qualities which are akhyaha, called. What are they called? Shama, dama, uparati, titiksha, samadhana and shraddha. Alright. So this we have seen. So these 6 are called shamadaya. Now shamaha, damaha etc. author himself is explaining. So I did not explain now. He will explain. Shamaha tavat shravanadi vyatirikta vishebhyah manasah nigrahah. Shamaha tavat. First of all, shama is manasaha nigrahaha, the mastery over the mind. From what? Vishebhyaha. So nigraha means restraining the mind from vishebhyaha, the objects, the fields. Which type of objects? Vyatirikta, which are different from Shravanadi. Shravana, Manana, and also puja, seva. Other than that, what all objects are there, from that manasaha nigraha. So restraining the mind from the objects vyatirikta other than shravanadi. Means what? Shamaha is not total control of the mind. It is not that I have to stop mind functioning. Mind has to function. But mind has to function in the field which is conducive to the pursuit of moksha. And anything which is not conducive, from that I withdraw the mind. So restraining the mind, mastering the mind, not allowing the mind to wander in the objects other than Shravanadi. So by that what is suggested is, the mind is not to be stopped. When we say Shamaha, does not mean the mind should stop functioning. The mind should function. It is a blessing. It is a privilege. The mind alone is sadhanam for moksha. Drishyate tu agreya buddhya sukshmaya sukshmadarshibhi. So mind alone is the sadhanam. So therefore it is not to be stopped. But it is to be channelized properly. Like we put a dam. The dam is not put just to collect the water. Dam is put to channelize the water in proper direction. So Shamaha also is this conserving the mental energy so that it is used for the purpose which is conducive to moksha. Therefore it is said Shravanadi Vyatirikta Vishebhya. Not from Shravanam also. Person said, I am following Shama, I have stopped using the mind, so I will not do Shravana Manana also. That's not correct. Shravanadi Vyatirikta Vishebhya Manasaha Nigraha. So mind goes to unnecessary things, that what that person is doing, how that person is doing, what was he talking about me, what was he talking about others. So all this gossip etc., from there we withdraw the mind. Or the things about the related to bhoga, where mind is going because of samskara, I withdraw. That is called Shamaha. Then next comes is Damaha, which we'll see in the next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om.